What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm essentially going to break down the exact strategy my agency and I use in order to generate this client $22,000 in revenue during our Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. We ran these ads for around 4 days, but preparation was about 2 weeks for this, so really nice to see these results. A lot of you may think that 21K isn't that much in revenue. You know, some brands do that within a week or 2 weeks. And yeah, you're completely right. You know, I've seen many other clients, many other of my clients do way more than this in a week. Do this number double. You know, like it's crazy. But considering the budget that we had around $500 to play with, and seeing the results that we generated from this, you know, it's really nice to see that, like, how it came out, and you know how everything's structured plans, and it, you know, kind of just proves to you that, like, with the well-structured plan and having a foundation that actually is profitable and scalable, a good strategy, literally anything is possible no matter what kind of budget you have. And that's kind of the message I want to, you know, put on you guys throughout this whole presentation. So without further ado, if you guys like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on all platforms at Ethan Manolo. And yeah, let's get straight into it, right? So this brand is called Product of Christ, and some background about them. You can kind of, you know, just tell straight up, they're a Christian clothing brand. We started working with them around 7 months ago, maybe back in May, June. I remember they came to me specifically. They were like, hey, I want to get some ads done. They've worked with agencies previously. He tried to do it on his own. And, you know, nothing is better than just working with someone who actually knows how to, you know, you're paying for that value of them actually, you know, bringing them results like these. So he wanted to work with us, and we started working with him in June. As you can see, his Instagram's right here. Make sure to go follow him and his brand. When we started working together, we were around actually like 11K followers maybe. So since the time we've been working together, we've grown a lot. So that's a plus too, you know, organic growth. And yeah, so this brand does really well organically. I'm not going to lie, just because there is a bunch of UGC content behind it. A story he told me is that when they first started, you know, about maybe last Black Friday, he really didn't have a brand imaging, right? He didn't really have anything. It was just his products, right? And then one day, like a week before Black Friday, apparently Mikey Williams, you know, popped out in his brand right here, and he went on a podcast with Angel Reese, and that's what really kind of started to blow him up. So that Black Friday, he did really, really good, but that was all organically. Then, you know, following that, in January of that same year, so January 2025, so this year, January, Janai Broom, who is an Auburn player up here in the top corner, he wore his brand too at a game, and then he blew up organically that way too. At the game, you know, a lot of people from Auburn saw, a lot of people worldwide. The clip went viral, so a lot of people started ordering from him, and he did crazy numbers that day too. So structurally, he started really well organically, but it wasn't until that Janai Broom that he started running ads on his own, actually, you know, and he hired an agency, which many of you guys may actually know of this agency that's probably really popular. And it went well. Like, the agency did really good results, but, you know, he wanted to try it on his own. So for months he tried it on his own, didn't work, and then he came to me, he saw my socials. And yeah, I ran ads for him in June. They went really, really good. Then we prepared for a July drop, which also went fabulous. Then fast forward, we're here Black Friday working together again, right? So essentially the main reasons he came to us were organic strategy, growth, and website optimization, and ads too. So organic strategy, you know, kind of the content he wants to post, you know, really with this influencer niche that he has going on. So organically, we focus on that. With the ads, which is great for ads, if you guys aren't familiar, running ads on UGC content, which is basically famous people, influencers, really, really good, because people, you know, who don't know your brand see that, like, you know, their favorite player, like Josh Hart here or Mikey Williams, is wearing this really cool hoodie, so they're intrigued by that, and, you know, might want to purchase based off that, right? Growth-wise, you know, just grow the brand, followers-wise, organic-wise, you know, SMS lists, and website optimization. We fixed up his website to... we didn't do too many changes in there. We wanted to keep a simple vibe. So instead of, you know, just posting pictures like this on the website, the shop, we just put flat lays of the product. So that's how we changed it. And most importantly, ads. You know, he wanted us to do his ads. And that's exactly what we did. So yeah, since last June, May, we've been working together ever since. So yeah. So going into Black Friday, wow, it's kind of dark. Hold on. Okay, so going into Black Friday, these were our goals. So our goals were to hit over 200 plus orders. This was what he was averaging the month prior to. He only did like 4K, 47 orders. Now this isn't, I wouldn't say accurate, but it's pretty accurate. But like, he didn't have a drop or anything, you know, no new products were coming in. there was any reason to like, having crazy sales. So this is just for reference. This is what they did in November pre Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Next thing was grow his SMS list an extra 1,000 people in a week, which sounds pretty hard. To some people, like how the hell am I gonna grow my SMS list to another 1,000 people within a span of a week, right? That's kind of hard. Some background, he already had 5K members in his SMS list, but we discovered that only about 2,000 of those were actually active members, which means, 3,000 people we were missing on crucial sales, right? We were targeting these people who aren't actually going to respond to our messages, to our Klaviyo emails, etc., right? Then third is 20K revenue in 4 days, right? We had a set goal of, our set goal originally was around 10K, and I was like, like we can obviously do more in this, like if we market this properly. So then we upped our goal to 20K, right? Because if we didn't reach 20K, at least we hit the other goal, right? So our main goal overall was 20K in revenue in 4 days. Now, as you can see again, his last month, he only did 4K. October, he maybe did around 15K the whole month. So 20K in 4 days is insane, right? Like, oh my God. So this was our overall goal. And like I told you, our ad budget was around $500 for the entire project. So literally any slip up or literally anything would have ruined it. We would have been cooked. Then we would have to go back to testing, and we don't have that much time. So everything had to be perfect down to the T. So it was a very, very a really good constructible 2 weeks leading up to it. So here is our overall timeline. So November 9th to the 14th. He hit me up. He was like, I'm ready for the prep for Black Friday. So I gave him a bunch of content I wanted him to recreate. What was working with other clients I'm working with, what other people are doing. Really recreate content like that. We already knew our UGC content was strong, so that was good. Now we just want to see like how else can we push out our content, what angles to take. November 17th to the 26th, so about a week, we ran our SMST campaign. That's our traffic campaign to get people to sign up for SMS lists. So that was the goal 1 week before Black Friday. Then November 27th, we had early access for our SMS list only. So that means people who signed up through the ads we ran, and even previous members of the SMS list, those people specifically will get early access to the Black Friday deals on Thursday instead of Friday when everyone's trying to get it. Then throughout the weekend of Black Friday, November 28th to the 30th, Black Friday went live. So Black Friday will go live then. Then December 1st, Cyber Monday rush, just ads for the day. And then December 2nd, or I think it was now that I think about it, December 3rd, the site will be closed. So we're only running that Cyber Monday for a couple of days, maybe 1 to 2 days, and then we'll close it until we're going to reopen for our next drop. So starting with content. So how to create content with the new Andromeda. I don't know. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people pronounce it differently. I see people say Andromeda or Andromedon. I just say Andromeda. I think it's so simple. So how to create new content with the Andromeda update. So as you guys know, Andromeda is essentially what the update was, is that instead of having specific audiences that your ads are pushing it out to, who will convert off of it, Andromeda kind of takes the creative and puts it in front of people who will buy specifically off that creative, right? So, person A might buy off this flat lay, person B might buy off this UGC content of this Tennessee basketball player, and then person 3 might just specifically buy it because they like the product on body of a model, right? So some people may buy specifically off of that. There's different reasons why people buy. So that essentially is why Andromeda kind of, pushes it out. So when he hit me up, I told him, let's get some content out of there. So this is what I wanted for content. I wanted some videos, essentially, just some short films, showing the lifestyle of the hoodie, showing what being a product of Christ is, in a short film video. Some flat lays like this one, pretty simple. Model pictures like this, get different angles, boys and girls. UGC, famous people, we already have Mikey, Josh Hart, Jalen Winston, these like college players, a bunch of different guys that are famous in our stuff. Marlon seen in our stuff. And short form videos. So you guys know how people have cars and, make cool edits on TikTok. That's essentially what I want to do. But, with hoodies, I know you guys all seen it. So it's a, really short form edit of a hoodie with like a cool soundtrack to the back, something, some people might know. And yeah, so that's what essentially I wanted. I wanted, short form video content that's attractive to some people. I already explained what Andromeda was, so essentially people just buy off a specific creative. So we really wanted to use that update and leverage to convert off of it, get maximum number of conversions off of that update, which obviously is possible. Some more background about Andromeda that I forgot to mention. Once it finds a winning creative, it will only spend to that one, and I'll show you kind of the example when I show you how it actually played out for us. Essentially, so say if this, UGC content want to appear one, like people are, clicking or buying specifically off of this only, it's only going to spend the money on that. Like, it's not going to spend the money on these two. So that's how it works. Also, if you are a clothing brand, you're in the e-commerce space, even lead gen, or you're just learning how to try to run ads for other people like I do, make sure to take notes on this video because this is full of sauce, guys. Yeah, this is a lot of sauce I'm putting in this video, and this is literally value people will make you pay thousands for a course for. And if you are interested, this is kind of cliche, but if you are interested in learning from me personally, I literally have a free course in my WAP. I'll add the link to the description. Literally free course with a bunch of blueprints that I specifically use to run ads like these. And in my paid one, which is like $50 or like $20, I even forgot. I have a bunch of videos explaining to you tutorials on Meta, there's Google tutorials, AI creatives, etc. So in case you guys are curious if I do anything like that, yeah, I do. But for a low ticket, I feel like this information shouldn't be like crazy expensive. So I'm going to give it to you guys in this video too. So take notes. So first up in our timeline is our SMS. We got our content knocked out. Now let's get to our SMS. So SMS T, when I say T in brackets, I mean traffic. That's the type of campaign we ran. So this is going to go from November 17th to the 26th, a day before Thanksgiving. So here is our setup. See, sauce. So campaign type traffic, aka T, that's what I put. See right here, AM, POC, Black Friday, SMS T, traffic, indicating it's a traffic campaign, started 11/17. So the audience that I use, so I wanted to use an Advantage Plus audience because I don't know who's going to click on my ad, right? I wanted to put it to everyone. You know, whoever clicks on it, whoever signs up, great. I don't really care. I don't really care about specific, really niching down this brand's ads because I don't know who's going to click on it. So I'm going to run an Advantage Plus, which essentially means that Meta is going to push it out to people who they think will convert best off of the goal of the campaign, which was link clicks. So next, on top of my Advantage Plus, I put an exclusion on it, and the exclusion was, hey, I want Meta to run it to everybody except the people already on my SMS list. So what that means is essentially we went to Klaviyo and we took a list of the existing customers and we put it into a custom audience inside of Meta, and we added as an exclusion within our ad sets right here. See? This is campaign, this is ad set, and here ads. So to recap, we have our Advantage Plus and we're excluding people who are already on our SMS list. Perfect. And yeah, there's no reason to waste money on people who already signed up. So for creatives, I wanted to test literally everything because I don't know what people are going to click off of, right? And I can literally replicate what people click off of the most into my sales campaign, right? So I wanted to test UGC content, a flat lay, some boost posts. Boost post means existing content that already has a bunch of like, comments, and views on it. So it's engaging to people who are new to the brand. So they don't see something with like 10 likes and that's it. Model pictures, videos, etc. Yeah, so with the Andromeda update, we're going to find people who click on the one ad specifically the most, 1 or 2 ads, and then from there, we'll duplicate those kind of creatives, get some similar stuff, and then run that in our sales campaign, right? Our budget was $25 a day, which is a perfect budget. Traffic campaigns don't need that much budget for essentially link clicks. You don't need to spend like $50 a day on this, nothing. And it can go really simple, even $15 is fine. So we ran this for about a week, and we spent a total of $226. Now you guys might think that's like a lot of money for a traffic campaign, but when you see the conversions, like it'll make sense, right? Boom. So here are some of the results we got with our SMS, specifically our traffic campaign, right? So our cost per result was about 13 cents per click. So every single time someone clicked our link, it'll charge us 13 cents. And our 3 top performing ads were Jalen Winston, I don't know where he plays, but he's a famous NBA player. He got 172 clicks at a cost per click of 0.16 cents. The best performing creative was our flat lay, surprisingly, which I specifically, put onto Brady, Brady's the guy who owns the brand. Sorry. What I told him, like, hey, I want to get a lot of flat lays. They've been working for other people I've been working with, so I want to try it with you. So flat lays got around 1,000 clicks at a CPC of 11 cents. And then Josh Hart got 580 clicks at a CPC of 14 cents. Total, we got around 2,000 clicks at 13 cents. $226 spent, and we reached a total of 40,000 accounts, 31,000 people. So pretty good. Now you're probably wondering, okay, that's great. You spent $226. What did you actually do off of it instead of just running the ads, right? Okay, number one, we collected pretty good data, so we know flat lays and UGC content were great for ads. So Andromeda really likes those two. So when we run our sales campaign, we're going to just, duplicate those type of creatives, not the exact same creative, but different angles of it, of what people might convert off of. Okay, cool. What else? Like, you make any money off of this? I mean, yeah, and you will see so. So I didn't make, obviously not money yet, but our initial goal, remember, was 1,000 signups, right? So from November 16th, I can't see, November 16th to November 26th, we're here, 1,500 people signed up from our forum. So we already exceeded our initial goal by 500 people. On top of that, 7,000 people viewed it, 21% submit rate. So that's great. We did great with these ads. You can kind of see how this picks up. So first day, learning, this was a Tuesday. Then Wednesday started picking up, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were low. Then boom, leading up, it just extended. It went crazy. So this was the SMS sign up. So that's essentially on the website. It's just you put your phone number in, etc. And then this is a pop-up with discounts. So 6,000 people, 7% of people submitted this one instead. So it's the first thing that pops up instead of clicking out of it. And this one got 231 submits. So that is a total of 1,731 people that signed. So 1.7K, almost 1.8K people signed up for our form. So we exceeded our goal. So now we have, with this data, now we have an audience that we can target when it comes to running ads and when it comes to pushing it out. So on top of our so-called 5,000 people, more like 2,000 people, we had an extra 1.8K people in there. So that's, 3.8K people on our list now. I think I did that math right. So when we run these, when we send our SMS messages, we're going to send them to people who signed up for this specifically. Next, November 27th, our early access. Wait, hold on 1 second. November 27th, this is Thanksgiving Day, early access only, right? So Thanksgiving Day is early access day. So our initial thing was we're sending out an SMS message to the people who signed up at 11 a.m. So we sent that message out at 11 a.m. knowing our drop is at 11 a.m. And this is kind of what the message looked like. It was a model picture here. And then we put, what was the thing? 30% off everything plus an extra $10 for your loyalty, right? So people who signed up, they're loyal to us. So they're going to get an extra $10 off. So that's awesome. So they had a code there for an extra $10 off. So, that intrigues them more to buy a product. So with this, we're building out an essentially a really, really good offer. It's an irresistible offer, leading for people to actually have to buy something because, this offer is so good that in the future, I'm not going to get another chance like this. So I need to buy now. And that was our goal with this SMS thing. They need to buy now. And that's why, as you can see, we did $5,000 this day, right? No ads today, no ads on Thanksgiving Day because there's no point in running ads for literally one day. Literally no point. Our SMS team carried out crazy. So I made this message, sent it at 11 a.m. Drop was at 11 a.m. As soon as this was kind of like these sales here. I don't know what this was. Maybe this was like early access friends and family of his. But as you can see, right at 11 a.m., we shot right up. Made around 5,000 a.m. We stayed consistent throughout the day. 52 orders, $5,000 in revenue. And specifically from Klaviyo alone on this day, we made $2,210. So that was insane. So that means right here, it says 29 people ordered here, 378 people saw it out of the 1.8K people that we actually ran this SMS campaign to. So that's incredible. So $2,000 specifically off of Klaviyo right there, So that's the power of SMS. I think SMS is a great tool brands should use when it comes to marketing for the products. I think it's great. And you'll see throughout this presentation how much we spammed SMS because how much it actually worked and converted. So that was sales thanks to our SMS. And let's move on to Black Friday. So we ran this from Friday to Sunday. November 28th to the 30th. And this is how we prepped for it. So this was our meta ad strategy. Again, giving you guys literally sauce. Like this is crazy sauce. I hope you guys are taking notes. So our campaign was obviously sales. So we're going to go with ABO. If you guys know what ABO means, that's ad set budget. So essentially, if you have $100, instead of running $100 at CBO, which is campaign budget to everything, you target specifically just, I guess you can do 4 ad sets, 2 ad sets, and you just split up the budget, $50 for one ad set, $50 for another. And that essentially just tells Meta to properly test these at the same budget to see what, does better. So for our first ad set, we had a cold conversion with ages through 18 to 40. Why did I do that? Because I don't really see 65-year-olds in this, in this hoodie. So I don't want to waste money on people that aren't actually going to, convert off of this. Next, I excluded 180 purchasers. Why did I do this? Because my purchasers are my warm audience. I wouldn't want to run a cold conversion ad set on people who've purchased it before. They're going to be seeing double because I'm going to include them in my second ad set. So what does that do? That creates audience fatigue if you don't exclude that. So adding exclusions is really crucial. So next, ad set 2, our warm conversion. So I'm leaving this at 80 plus, Advantage plus. Why? because I don't know why. I don't know I don't know the specific ages of people who have purchased from us in the past, is what I'm trying to say. They could be 18, they could be 70, or they can be 55, right? Like, I don't know. So I'm going to include everybody, right? So here I'm going to include my 180 purchasers. And on top of that, I'm going to include the SMS list that I created or that I targeted the past week that I was running that. So all those 1.8K people, 2K people, whatever, I'm going to target that in my ads in case they didn't buy SMS, so I can turn them from viewers to signups to actual purchasers, real life value customers, right? On top of that, we gave the warm conversion. We gave those people in our text, we told them, hey, like, use code, I think it was BF10 for an extra $10 off since they're our warm conversion audience, so that, increases our higher recurring customer rate. So people who have come back to buy more from us, right? So we gave them an extra code. So again, like I said, our budget was literally $515 all weekend on the dot. And this was our campaign setup. So boom, here is our campaign, and here are 2 ad sets, as you can see. Next. Okay, so next, here are the ads we ran for these. So since we ran that SMS traffic campaign for about a week, we collected the data on what people were actually clicking on, right? And going back to it, what do people actually click on? People clicked on the UGC content and the flat lays, this one specifically. So what I did is that I took this flat lay and I'm like, hey, create some more stuff like this, different angles. Let me get concrete floor. Let me just get outside, etc. Let me get a bunch of different flat lays. So we collected data on people that are clicking on this, and we essentially turned that into a sales campaign. We took those creatives and we put them straight into a sales campaign to just replicate the images that were working for us previously. But we didn't do that for both of them. We only used the flat lays for our warm audience because we saw people were clicking on that ad specifically. So we know that they will convert off of that ad specifically. We don't really know what our cold conversion campaign is gonna purchase off of because we don't know these people. So we're gonna spam them with UGC content. Maybe they're interested in basketball and they see Josh Hart wearing it, they're gonna buy off of Josh Hart. They see Mikey in it, they're gonna buy off of Mikey. They like Marlon, they like streaming, they're gonna see him in it, they're gonna buy off of Marlon, right? So people buy off of different influencers and UGC content is one way to market your product. And luckily this brand leverages that a lot because it worked for them in the past, so why not do it again, right? We're gonna spam that UGC content. Next, SMS. So we also sent out an SMS message for Black Friday drop, and we marked it up a little bit. We created some urgency. We kind of told them, like, hey, if you missed out on early access, make sure to buy today because early access went crazy yesterday. They almost sold us out, right? So we created that urgency. But actually, funny enough, these products were actually almost gone. So it was crazy. So we told them, all our products are all sold out. This is actually the message too. All our products are almost sold out. Make sure to get your orders before they're gone for good. And we gave them the code BF10, for an extra $10 off since they are also loyal customers to us. So we sent that SMS message around 11 a.m. on Friday. And the site opened at 11 a.m. Friday for everybody. And here were the results of the entire Black Friday weekend. Boom. Here we go. So from November 28th to November 30th, we made around $14,000. Sorry, 161 orders, up 186%, 193%, and our conversion rate was around 5%, which is crazy. I didn't mention this earlier, but his conversion rate last year was on 2 to 3%. He said, hey, I really want to get 4 to 5 to 6% conversion rate, and we got onto a 4.35% conversion rate to be exact. So that is great. That is great. So let's break this down. Where are these numbers actually coming from? So from our Klaviyo specifically, on Friday we made around $4,000 specifically off Klaviyo, 44 orders, 8% conversion rate, 551 people viewed it, etc. So that's 4K right here. And off of ads, remember I told you guys we had that $515 budget. We spent around $500 on ad to bring back a 6x ROAS. You guys know how insane that is, guys? 6x ROAS, that's 6 times the money. So we made them around 3K specifically off of ads. And that is, literally, actually it was less because the $84 was from our Cyber Monday because we kind of ran out of money. We ran out of budget. So we didn't want to exceed our client's budget. So we just stayed within our margins. So essentially we just spent $400 throughout the whole weekend. We quickly scaled. We started with $50 on one ad set, which I'll show you in a second. $50 on one ad set, and on our warm conversion, on our warm audience, I think we spent around $75 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, brought back a 7x for that specifically, so that was great. So with Klaviyo and ads combined, we made around $6,000 generated, which was great. Again, like I said, he does really good organically, so I'm not going to take that away from him, but also you're not going to want to give up an extra $6K that you can have in revenue, right? Especially with only $400 spent. So that was incredible. That's an incredible 3 days. And yeah, let's move on to Cyber Monday. So we only ran ads for literally 1 day. Like I said earlier, we ran out of money with our budget. And we obviously, like I said, we don't want to exceed our budget. So we stay within our margins. No, we're not going to overspend on him. So this was our meta ad strategy for Cyber Monday. We're not going to run the same campaign we ran for Black Friday. Although we got a lot of purchases, etc. I got like around 40 purchases. I forgot to screenshot and put it in here. Maybe I did later, I forget. So here's our strategy for Cyber Monday. So again, sorry, lost train of thought. Lost my train, whoa, breathe. Lost my train of thought. So we're not going to run the same campaign we ran for Black Friday because all our CTAs are like Black Friday, shop now, 30% off, right? We had a different deal for this. We created a bundle where it was like buy one, get one 50% off, right? And we purposely made sure to exclude the people who bought over the weekend so they didn't see like, oh, wow, I could have got way more on Monday, you know? So we excluded them. So kind of like, hey, like only you guys know this, right? Keep it secret. So campaign was always sales. We had $84 less. So, you know, we just kind of threw it into a CBO, said, hey, do what you want to do. So I didn't really go in too much depth with this one. I only put one ad set. Like I said, we excluded purchasers, ADV plus, 18 to 40, and it was a mix of literally everything. Old products, UGC, flat, you know, some AI stuff, right? And like I said, we didn't even do this, we didn't even run this, what am I trying to say? We didn't even run this for that long. Like literally, I remember running it at 12 a.m. and I stopped it around 1, 2 p.m. So it didn't even get full spend within the day. Our budget was like $115 a day. So literally just for the day. And it only spent up $84 until my business partner said, hey, but we hit our budget cap. I'm going to turn the ads off. I was like, great, whatever. I told him. He was fine with it. But what did really good is that we sent out an SMS message to everyone too. And we got 5 orders off of it for $450. So that's really cool. Then for our ads, we had $84 spent to bring back a 4x ROAS. So $350. Not too bad, right? Organically, like I said, he did pretty well. He made around 3.5K, 40 orders, obviously down. Because all of our purchases came from Friday and the weekend. So that was really good. Of course, if we had ads, if we ran the ads for a longer time period, this would have been, I think we could have made another 10K just with all like the momentum. We already built up an audience. We know what was working. So really scaling that, it would have been crazy. We would have, I think personally from ads, we would have hit around 200 orders. We hit, in this one, we hit around 110 orders for this weekend, which is still pretty good, right? But I think if we had a bigger budget and we ran it for longer, obviously there would have been a huge difference, but really, really satisfied with this. I'm really happy to show you guys this because it just proves that small budgets don't really matter. You know, it's all about your foundation, your strategy, and who's really running your ads, in order to bring your results like these. Because you give some random $500 and they don't know what they're doing, right? You're just going to throw $500 down the drain. So we had to be really, really specific with this. So to conclude, here are our total weekend results. We made around 21K, 22K, so up 7.1K%, as you can see, December 27th to December 3rd. When we ran that, you know, the organic was a little bit later, but you can see these spikes, crazy. So 22K in 4 days. 5 days, my bad. So 22K in 5 days. Conversion rate 4%, perfect. 253 orders. So let's go back to our goals. Let's check back to what our goals were coming into this weekend. So we'll go number 1 was over 200 orders. We crushed that with 253 orders. Number 2, grow out an SMS list to an extra 1K in a week. Bang. We grew that list to almost 2,000 people. It's more specifically around 1.8K people, which was insane. And as you can see how much that actually, you know, mattered in order for our campaign, you know, in the future. So you can really see that. Insane. And third goal, last but not least, 20K in revenue in 4 days. And we exceeded that, making almost $22,000 in 4 days. So overall, really, really satisfied with how this weekend went. Really proud of myself and the team who did this. Again, proves that small budget does not matter. You know, if we had a bigger budget, we would be way past the moon. I think we would have hit a 70K, almost maybe 100K month if we did this in 4 days, right? So super proud of this. I'm sharing this with you guys just to show you guys, how you guys can, prepare for this in the future. Or if you guys are running ads or running ads for somebody else, how you can apply these same strategies to running ads, in a regular weekend. The main important thing is build out a really irresistible offer. Why should people buy? Good content, really leveraging Andromeda, and, running good ads, knowing how to set up a campaign. So, yeah, so it's a successful Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, considering our budget, again, was like $500. And our client was very happy, as you can see in some text messages between us. So, to look back, average order value was $80. Spend on Meta was $500. Again, 6x ROAS. Revenue on Meta was $2,700. I think it was a little bit more now that I look back at it. Right? Yeah, it was a little bit more. Wow, I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, so he was really happy. See, literally no UGC shoutouts or anything, straight photo shoots and ads, guys. The leverage of content and good ads, guys, I'm telling you guys. And again, just saying, going back to what I said, last year when he did it, Mikey Williams wore it and it went crazy. This year, nobody really wore it, but we leveraged the usage of that UGC content, that new audience, boom, 22K on your head top. Then, again, going over this, really good, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about this. Leave a comment down below if you guys like this content like this. I can do another recap on another brand we did for Black Friday. And yeah, if you guys are a clothing brand, if you guys are an e-commerce brand, if you guys are a lead generation and you're looking to actually have an agency like myself, run ads like this, even if you have a small budget, big budget, run profitable ads, make sure to DM my Instagram or click this link. I'm going to leave it in the bio. Let's book a call together, and I want to grow together. I essentially just want to take your brand and really show that story, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Is if you're getting your brand's message out to the right people, and I want to help you guys achieve your goals. I'm really passionate about what I do. I'm really passionate about the people who I work with, and I want to grow with you. I don't want self-success. If you succeed, that's my main goal. That's the only thing that really matters to me. So if you guys are those people, your clothing brand, e-commerce brand, lead generation, I look forward to meeting with you. Just DM my Instagram, probably the easiest thing, at Ethan Manolo. Make sure to follow me too. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the whole video. I'll leave the link to my WAP down below, some straight sauce. And yeah, make sure to follow for more content, guys. Have a great day.